So what we're going to do is customize this form a little further. And we do need to be in layout view for this. The book tells you to go into design view, but design view is for much more advanced formatting. And the graphics shown to you are showing you layout view. So that is definitely where you need to be. So if you go into view, you should be in layout. And what we're going to do is we're going to click to the right of our text controls. So we click to the right of the first one. I'm going to press shift, click to the right of the second, third, fourth, and fifth. So all the way through city, we're clicking to the right, not on the text control itself, but we're clicking to the right of the text control. And then what we're going to do is kind of merge all of these together. So we're going to go into arrange, and we're going to, with these selected, click on merge. And it basically makes one big old box. And what we're going to do with this one big old box is we're going to insert an image into the box. So we're going to go into our design section under Form Layout Tools. We're going to go into the Design tab, and we're going to click on the Image button, and we're going to click on Browse. Now you're going to need to go to the AL1C5 folder, and this little Dearborn image is the one that we want. So we're going to go ahead and click OK. And it should hopefully put this in our little box. Okay, so I actually had to click on it to see it. And then they want us to click below here. So what they want us to do is actually take telephone and move it down. So we're going to click, you can click anywhere in this row. We're going to give a command to select the entire row. So let's go back into Arrange, and we're going to choose Select Row. And then we're going to tell it to move down. And you'll notice how that entire row now moved down. Our next little task is going to be to adjust margins. Now, I just noticed this is way over here, so I'm going to move this. Whoops. Undo does come in handy. I don't want to move it that far. I just want to move it over above my deer. Okay. I'm aligning it up here. All right, so at this point, what I'm going to do is adjust the margins, and then I'm going to add a little bit of padding between basically the edge and my field and label controls. So we do need to be in the form layout section. So we're in Form Layout Tools. And for margins, we need to be under Arrange, which we are. And so we have a couple different choices. And they would like us to select Narrow. Now, margins are in effect when we print. Okay, so right now, you're probably not going to notice a whole lot of changing going on. Once we have adjusted the margins, our next step is going to be to control the padding. And in order to control padding, we do have to select all of the controls that we want modified. So I'm going to start down here in the lower right corner. Let's see if this works. Nope. We're going to have to just shift and click on everything. All right, so this is all of our controls. And what we're going to do is add a little bit more spacing so they're not smashed up against the edge of the page. So once you have all of those selected, you can control the padding. And none would be no spacing. Okay, we can have narrow, medium, or wide. And if you're curious to see what it looks like, you can go ahead and select them and see how the controls move. Okay, so it's just spacing between various controls. And what we're going to be picking is medium. Now they would like us to display grid lines because by default grid lines don't show. So we're going to click on the grid line list arrow. And if you're curious again, you can turn these lines on and see what it does. But what they want us to do is pick top. Okay, so your ultimate selection is going to be top. And we're going to adjust the color of those lines just a little bit. So we're going to go into grid lines again. This time we're going to come down to color. And we're going to select orange accent to darker 50%. Okay, which is the bottom one in the orange column under theme colors. Now they would also like us to move the form itself. So we're going to click on this little move handle. And we're actually going to left drag. And they want us to position this in the top left. So I'm left dragging to the top left, and then I'm going to release it. And then they would like us to select Client ID and save our changes.